We got breaking news out of the NBA where the Mavericks are expecting to fire general manager Nico Harrison this morning. That's per multiple reports. Harrison has been in charge of the Mavs for the past 4.5 seasons, taking over back in the summer of 2021. The move comes just over 9 months after Harrison infamously traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers in a deal that stunned the NBA and sports world as a whole. Dallas made the postseason 2 of Harrison's first 4 seasons, including a finals appearance with Luka in 2024 against the Celtics. And take a look at some of those numbers. I mentioned they are almost 5 full years, 182 wins under his reign there, those 2 playoff appearances, the Western Conference Final, and then the loss there in the finals. But the one thing that has been the blemish on his resume there in Dallas, and the reason why we have this question today, of course, trading away Luka Doncic, that generational talent back in February, the 2nd of last season. I want to bring in Coach Avery Johnson. And, Coach, this is interesting because, honestly, the fans have been saying since February to fire Nico Harrison, and now we're at this juncture. How did we get here, the possibility of him maybe leaving?
Yeah, Brandon, I'm here in Dallas, and I'm not really surprised because there's just been a serious fallout, especially after this Luka Doncic trade, unfortunately, for Nico. I've been knowing Nico since he was working with Nike when I was coaching in college, and you know he's a nice man. He's a good guy, but unfortunately, you know, this trade is going to basically follow him for the rest of his career. You know, the fans are not, they just weren't happy, no matter what Anthony Davis does or Cooper Flag. The fans are not happy here in Dallas. And looking at what Luka's doing now with the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Mavericks are off to a slow start. Anthony Davis, you know, he obviously looks overweight. The team is struggling to score. So again, a lot of different forces came together. Obviously, you got new ownership. The Mavericks have a new CEO, a new president of basketball operations, and they're off to a slow start. Fans are still yelling things at, you know, Nico during the course of the game, and the team is struggling. So just all of those forces, you know, coming together was probably, you know, in the Luka trade. It gets back to that Luka trade is probably the reason why he ended up getting fired. Again, the Mavericks set to inform Harrison of the decision 11 a.m. Eastern. Just want to remind the folks at home about that. And, Coach, you kind of touched on a few things there because, yes, they've been playing bad, 3-8. I don't think it was a factor of losing to the Bucks, but as you mentioned, the thing that happened months ago back in February with the Luka trade and how good he's looked with the Lakers. Obviously, he's not responsible for the product. That's Jason's kid. But, you know, how do we get to this point at this day right now? Because it seemed like it was all great, all good and everything after the draft. Yeah, but you got to think about the forces of the Luka trade. Then Kyrie Irving has to be overused a little bit at this stage of his career, and he gets an ACL injury. All right. Fortunately, you know, they won the lottery and got Cooper Flag, but Kyrie's not on the court. Anthony Davis is not in great shape right now. They're struggling to shoot the ball. They really don't have a lot of playmakers on the team. So this team is just struggling on every level. And then the apathy and with the fans, you know, when you're still having fans showing up, booing the team, you know, booing Nico. They went out and hired a new communications director to try to change some of the messaging with the team. Here's a team that needs a new arena. So again, it's just so many different forces that have come against the Mavericks that they probably felt like they needed to make this move. If you're looking at Jason Kidd, of course, he has to continue to coach this team. This is a team that you had mentioned maybe if they were all healthy, get Kyrie back later in the year, they can contend in the West. How does he move forward and getting this team back to their winning ways? Yeah, I just think they're going to have to change their lineups a little bit, try to find the right fit with guys on the floor. You know, they're struggling to knock down threes. You know, they benched Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson was supposed to be a major part of this team and being that backside shooter. So if you look at this team, you know, when you're struggling to make shots offensively and you're not spreading the floor, then defenses can continue to shrink. So they're going to have to really get creative with trying to figure out how to create some open shots, try to get the ball inside a little bit and force some traps and get some inside out games. But they're
taking a look there when we see the graphic there, Coach, just stand by for a second there. February 2nd, this is the thing that is on Nico Harrison's resume in terms of the trade for Luka Doncic, who is considered one of those generational talents, top 5, top 10. Doesn't matter where you have him ranked, obviously, for Anthony Davis. A big man that has been solid in his days in Lakers, but he has had injuries. The reason why, 20-10, we see it there, 14 games so far. We'll take a quick break. Of course, this news with Nico Harrison possibly getting fired soon. He will be informed by the team at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is now. We'll take a break. Ashley Cole Moss will join us on the opposite side.
We got the Lakers, we got the Hornets, we got a dynamic duo. And kind of the wine section meme, right, from your local supermarket?
What do you mean?
Well, there are red wines and there are white wines.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to leave it there.
Or some exciting?
I'm going to leave it there. That's Luka Doncic. Little runner, 15 feet, banked at home. Austin Reeves is back. First game since November the 2nd. Missed a trio of games. Gets that to go. Look at my headband hero. Cue up the Foo Fighters. Not me, but the Foo Fighters. There goes my hero. Now we're in the third quarter. Luka up top. Through that traffic, Charlotte's got sneaky traffic. You can drive through uptown.
It's like baby Atlanta.
Don't call it downtown. Call it uptown. Although from downtown here, Doncic, yep. Oh, are you kidding? From inside the zone 3-point line. What? Doncic. Shot did not count, but he's still smirking.
Oh, it didn't?
Yeah, and then Austin Reeves is like, hold on one second.
Okay.
I got that as well. Why?
Because shots up.
I am exciting, like the wine meme. Here's Doncic on the in-game competition.
Luka, did you make sure to let Austin know that your shot that didn't count was from further than his? That was happening?
Yeah, and he got one in the game. He didn't want to pass me, so I made sure he knows so I can make that.
I'll have to check the film and see which one was further.
That's my guy Mike Trudell lobbing up the question to Luka Doncic. Lakers win by 10. Doncic, another 35-point game. He went for 38.
The league's leading scorer is that guy, Giannis, 33.4 points per game, just ahead of Tyrese Maxey, taking on the entirety of the DFW on that drive right there. The Bucks are down 13 in the fourth quarter, but they would come back because Giannis is showing off the range. The triple gives the Bucks the lead. Cooper Flagg had a game. All right. I wanna go to Maine. Career high 26 points. Most points by an 18-year-old since some guy named LeBron James in 2003. Okay, Kyle Kuzma, cookies, gets the loose ball. That's an easy dunk for him. And then Cormac Carl Christie Jr. misses the three. Giannis fouls. See, the Mavericks, here's the thing. They did this social media bit where they called all of the players their government names, and it's super funny. Listen to this. Yikes, you know who they're talking about. That's Paul Jermaine Washington Jr., PJ Washington at the line. Bucks get the win. We're going to talk more about those Fire Nico chants, because the Mavs, they're now 3-8, while Luka and the Lakers, they're 8-3, and Mavs GM Nico Harrison is the one who made the Luka to LA deal in February. And our NBA reporter Tim McMahon said on the Hoop Collective podcast that the future is not bright for Nico in Dallas.
At this point, I believe it is a matter of when, not if, Nico Harrison will be fired. And there is a very, very strong likelihood that will be midseason. After that Luka trade, Patrick Dumont, one of his infamous quotes was, "In Nico, we trust." I'm just telling you, the trust is disintegrated at this point.